mixture comes all the way out. Throttle, doesn't matter, but we can pull it off if that makes us feel better. Carb heat, we'll push it back on. Okay, and then our ignition can go to the off position. We'll use flaps and make a radio call before we shut the master off. Okay?
Yep.
Just unlatch your door so it doesn't get jammed if it hits something. So that's the full briefing. But you're just expected to be able to say if we have an engine failure above 1,000 feet, pitch for 65, look for a place to land. In some cases it may be behind us, and then we'll try to restart the aircraft and shut it down if we have time. Okay?
Yep. So next things, when we set the transponder or radios, we did radios.
They made a rule recently.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been long enough that they want us, anytime we move the aircraft on the taxiway, to already be on altitude. So they probably should update the checklist to reflect that.
Okay.
But they have not yet, so, because that's the camera part of the transponder. So the people who work in air traffic control can see us on their radar screen by this. It shows that we are VFR traffic. Okay?
Yep.
All right, let's make a radio call and taxi down.
Okay.
Don't forget the wind correction with your ailerons, okay?
Yep. Kearney traffic Skyhawk 74 Echo Romeo at north of the fire station, taxi into runway 18 via Alpha. Kearney traffic.
Masahiro, I have to say, you have a very clear radio voice. It's very easy to tell.
I practice a little.
You practice a lot, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you did
Okay.
a good amount of practice.
Okay.
Now, if we could get those English-speaking Americans to speak as well as you, then everybody can hear you. Pilots are the worst. Yeah.
They called?
No.
No.
I didn't hear them call.
Yeah.
But we did, and we're gonna just watch out for them.
Okay.
Okay, so there you go. Yes. You're going to remember because you'll get so sick of me reminding you.
Oh.
Okay.
Wait,
Whoop.
I stuck my shoes. Right here.
Oh no.
It's not good.
Kearney radio, Skyhawk 74 Echo Romeo radio check.
Whistler 11, single H 53 on Charlie, taking the active 18, be departing to the south. Kearney traffic.
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah. Kearney traffic Skyhawk 74 Echo Romeo crossing runway 13 approach. Kearney traffic.
Okay, so somebody had the volume turned too far down. Go ahead and cross. We're fine. He's taking off on runway 18. So that was good. We asked, hey, did they make a radio call? I didn't hear them. You didn't hear them. Got a radio check, and the minute I said that, I saw a receive, RX, receive. So that meant they were talking to us. We couldn't hear them, so I turned up the volume.
Yeah, I turned it on off.
Okay, so we just want to make sure we put it back.
Yeah.
Okay, they are up in the air. Make a radio call stating that we are clear of the 13 approach area.
County traffic Skyhawk 74 Echo Romeo, clear of 13 approach, county traffic.
And you can say via Alpha.
Okay.
That way somebody has a direct pinpoint location of where we are, just in case they thought we were over on the other side of 18. It seems like we have a lot of power in. Let's try not to ride the brakes, because when we land, we will want the brakes to slow down. All right. If we hold them too long, we don't want them to melt and get overheated. Okay. So power back to. Don't taxi above. There you go.
Okay.
Okay. All right, and we'll stop and do our before takeoff checklist. Looking for traffic. I had the helicopter. They're over Kearney. They're no factor. In fact, they're flying over. Well, I shouldn't say they're no factor. Flying over the nursing home.
Before takeoff.
Oh, what? I'm out of cellular data. Okay. Before normal takeoff, flaps. I'm gonna do 0.
0. Cover heat, cold. Throttle.
We have before takeoff. So lights, camera, action.
Okay.
Okay. Lights, landing light.
Lights.
Camera, transponder. We're just verifying transponder. Action is the fuel. So fuel is set for takeoff, and the fuel selector is on both. And make sure you're on the brakes. Okay.
Yep.
Normal takeoff. We're 0 flaps. Carb heat is cold, and then we're gonna add throttle full, open, rotate at 55 knots, and climb at 75.
Okay.
Okay.
Yep. We're departing from runway 18 and to
for a northwest departure.
northwest departure. Okay. This is northwest departure. Okay. Write down memo.
Okay.
Okay. County traffic Skyhawk 74 Echo Romeo, departing from runway 18 to northwest departure. County traffic.
I'm going to help you with this takeoff because today it's gusting and wind, okay?
Yeah.
And until we get that, we got to make sure we have that wind correction down perfect before I let you take off all by yourself, okay?
Yeah.
All right, so smooth throttle, off the brakes. Okay, a little bit of right rudder, a little bit of right aileron. Well, maybe. Okay, airspeed's coming alive. Instruments are in the green. Yeah, it's just a back and forth today.
Yeah.
Doesn't know which way it wants to blow. Okay, good. And then pitch over and climb at 75. If we can get it. Today the density altitude is so high, you see the performance is really bad. So 75, we are barely climbing at 200. Let's pitch about 70. So raise the nose just a little bit. so if we had an engine failure right now, what would we do? We're above, we're under 1,000 feet.
So it has to be 65 knots.
Yes?
Then, no flap out.
You could make a left turn while
Okay.
I know it's a lot to think about while you're flying, but I want to get you used to dividing your attention.
Okay. And
Then we want to look for a place to land within 30 degrees of the nose.
Okay.
We don't want to turn all the way back to the airport because we won't make it. We'll run out of airspeed, we'll run out of altitude, and we'll be landing downwind, right?
Yep.
So it's better to land in the wind. And then go ahead and turn downwind, and we'll fly downwind a little bit.
okay.
But we're at traffic pattern right now.
So stay in traffic pattern.
Yes, stay in the traffic
So
pattern.
3100.
We're gonna actually climb above,
Okay.
so we'll just stay in the pattern, but we're gonna fly through the traffic pattern altitude. So when you roll out downwind. Okay, so we're looking outside. We would be a little too close to the runway. This road doesn't run directly north and south.
Okay.
Okay, we'll just keep climbing. And I would like you to say Kearney traffic, Skyhawk 74 Echo Romeo is departing, downwind departure to the northwest.
Sorry, departure to the northwest.
3,500.
Okay.
Or let's try that again. Let's say our altitude first. Kearney traffic, Skyhawk 74 Echo Romeo, climbing through 3,700 for a downwind departure to the northwest.
So climbing at 3,700 to the
For a downwind
for downwind
departure
departure
to the northwest.
to the northwest. So long. I take a memo.
You can practice if you want.
Okay. Yeah. Oh.
Okay.
You have control.
Okay, my controls. Just listen this time, okay?
Yeah.
Kearney traffic, Skyhawk 74 Echo Romeo is climbing through 4,000. We're going to do a downwind departure to the northwest. Kearney. Yeah, we want to make sure that we've climbed way up above traffic. So we want to be above 500 feet before we start our turn.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
And so now what do? We are in the climbing phase of our flight, so we need to do a checklist, correct?
Yep.
Okay, your controls?
I have control.
All right. So we're going to divide our attention between our checklist and outside.
Yep. So, correct. The airspeed is around 80. Yeah, 70 to 85 knots.
Yeah, and we're about 75.
75, okay. It's
with our weight and our density altitude. 75 is better than 80. 80, we're only climbing about 200 feet per minute.
and throttle full.
Full throttle, let's climb to 5,000.
Okay. And make sure we adjust 3 density altitude, so.
Okay, so as we climb up above 3, we can lean the mixture.
Okay.
Let's do a turn. Okay, so mixture, turn. That's good. Okay?
Yep.
Okay, let's do some practice clearing turns. Let's turn to the west,
Okay.
and then to the northwest. Or to the west. We'll do 90. Just as we climb, we'll do climbing turns and then level off at 4,000. And we're just kind of trying to look for traffic. Now turn back to the north.
Okay.
So we're just doing nice little climbing turns. The visibility, it's VFR, but it's still so bad. Just for safety's sake. And climb, let's go up to 5,200.
Okay.
Instead of 5,000. Kearney traffic, Skyhawk 74 Echo Romeo is 8 miles to the northwest and maneuvering at 5,200 Kearney. Okay, let's do more slow flight, or let's do a clearing turn to the west.
Okay.
And we'll go. Then we'll come back. We'll do two 90-degree turns.
Traffic Skyhawk 7390 November, 7 miles southwest at 5,600 feet, maneuvering Kearney traffic.
Okay, so let's, we started climbing in the turn. I'm going to make sure that we don't add too much back pressure, and let's pull power back to 2,300 before we start a maneuver, okay? While we're doing clearing turns. Roll out on west, okay, so we're looking for traffic. And then before you roll to the north, I want you to look under your wing. So you can do that as you start to roll out.
Your door's open.
My door's open?
Yeah.
All right. Don't do a steep bank, okay?
Okay.
I don't want to fall out.
I don't want me to.
All right, when we get on north, then we'll set ourselves up for slow flight.
Okay.
These will be our clearing turns. Okay, good. Way to recover that altitude. Okay, so we're going to maintain 5,200. We're going to get set up for slow flight. So we'll carpet first.
Carpet on.
Power back to 1,500. So we can add anywhere from a couple hundred if we need to hold altitude. But right now we're trying to slow up to 55 knots. We're below 110, so we can add the first notch of flaps. We're actually below 85, so we can add all flaps down to 30 degrees, okay?
Yeah. Okay. Flaps, sorry.
Okay, so there's 55 knots. Hold 55. Don't go, oh, we're going to stall. There we go. Add some power in to hold your airspeed. Today, the density altitude's really bad, so it may not like this much drag. You may have to go full throttle and then take the carpet out when you're back in the green. Okay, so now we're climbing back up to 5,200. There you go. Add that right rudder. Good job. Okay, let's do a turn to the west.
Okay.
Whoop. Nice, small, whoa, nice, easy movements, okay?
At Kearney area traffic, flex jet 409.
Keep that ball center.
Runway 18, Kearney.
Okay, pitch down for 55. We use power to control our altitude. And Kearney traffic, Skyhawk 74 Echo Romeo is 10 miles to the northwest. We're maneuvering at 5,200 Kearney. Actually.
Kearney traffic, Skyhawk 7390 November, 8 miles to the south.
Okay, let's go back to a turn to the north.
409, taxiing to 18 for departure. The departure to the southwest.
Looking good. 5,200 and pretty close to 55 knots. That's
And
good.
Columbus.
Okay. We're going to go into a power off stall.
Okay.
So now we're going to hold 55 knots. Actually, we're going to hold 55 knots until we have power all the way out, and then we'll pitch forward for 65 knots. Just like a pretending that we're landing, okay?
Yeah.
So pitch down for 65. 5,000 is our ground. Okay, so power out, 65. Or I should say, you might need a little bit of power just to keep our airspeed up. So keep that power in and pitch down.
Okay.
So pitch for airspeed.
And maybe when we add the ground power also off.
Yeah, but I want us to be at 65 first,
Okay, yeah.
so you can practice a flare, like a rotation. And yeah, if you have to add more power, our performance is very bad today because it's so hot in the density altitude. Okay, there's 65, so
Okay.
close enough. And power
443 Tango Alpha.
all the way back.
Idle.
Okay, and we want to keep that ball centered and keep our heading right on north, okay?
Yeah.
There you go. Okay, pull back a little bit more. Keep those wings level.
We start 20 minutes out. Citation 443 Tango Alpha. We'll be coming in looking for a quick turn on fuel, and we're going to top it off with Jet A negative Chris.
Almost there. There we go.
Okay.
Good. Okay.
Down.
Whoop, whoop. Okay. A little too much trim, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's good practice, so you know not to put too much trim in on landing, in case you have to go around, right? All right. That was a good stall, and you broke it to recover.
Yeah.
It fell apart when we added power, and the trim, it wanted to go back up because of just a little too much trim. Maybe just enough to hold the back pressure. Okay, very nice. And then VX until we have a positive rate, and then you can bring 10, only 10 degrees at a time. Okay, and then pitch for today. I hate to tell you, pitch for 75. We may never climb. Positive rate. We can take another.
Okay.
There we go.
I lose my fear.
Okay, and then there we go. It will climb. You can climb at 70 if that works better. Okay, so let's turn back around to the south. We'll make a nice little heading change.
Okay. Can I do that?
Nice, slow.
Yeah.
Okay, power back to, let's go ahead and start slowing back up for slow flight. So you can take, we'll wait till the clearing turns all the way done. That way you can just concentrate on looking for traffic. Okay. Clearing turn complete. We'll enter into slow flight again.
Okay.
And we'll slow up to 55 knots and stay at 5,100.
Okay. No flaps?
Yeah, full flaps.
Cool.
Or
It's
30 degrees flaps,
okay,
sorry.
but it's almost 55.
So we may have to add a little bit of power for slow flight, right? To maintain 55,100. So even though we have our RPM, we're still in slow flight.
Yeah.
So this is how we determine how slow we are, not by this. But we could be full power and only 40 knots, right? Or we could be 1,700 RPM and 120, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll get back up to 5,100.
Can I back to the flaps up?
If you can't
to climb a little.
if you can't hold with full power,
Okay.
then you can. But we still have a lot of power we can put in. Okay.
Yeah.
So we want to be at 55 knots. So we're pretty fast. That's probably why we're not climbing.
Westbound.
So pitch up for 55.
5,000 feet, Marty.
County traffic,
Okay. You can start easing back that throttle.
Mile to the
Pull back.
west of runway 18. We have the departing traffic in sight. I'll call clear to the east.
Alrighty, we got you in sight. You're gonna continue eastbound, is that correct?
Affirm, sir. Air 1.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna demonstrate a turning stall.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now that you set up, my controls. Okay.
Sorry.
So we've got full flaps in. I'm gonna pitch over. We'll say that 50. We'll say 5,000 is the ground. Okay. So I'm gonna pitch for 65. I'm gonna really watch my ball and keep it centered. And when I get to 5,000, I'm gonna just do a standard rate turn to the left.
County traffic, Skyhawk 7390 November, 10 miles southwest at 5,500 feet.
6,000. Okay, there's 5,065, so I'm gonna go power out. I'm gonna keep this nice standard rate turn in. We wanna keep the ball centered, right? Because what happens if we don't have it coordinated? When we turn, our stall speed is raised. It just does not want to stall today, huh? Okay, that, and not very much of a stall, but I'm gonna call it a stall before I get too exhausted. All right, so same recovery, okay? Positive rate. Up to 10, VX, then we're gonna pitch for VY. Okay. I'm gonna use 70 as VY today because we have very bad performance. There's positive rates. Okay. And then, so now we're climbing 75, pretty good, 500 feet per minute. And then we'll climb back up to our starting point. We did almost over 180 degree turn.
10 miles out, landing frigate runway 14.
All right, then when we get to our altitude, we'll level off, pitch, and then power, and then trim. So you can use a little bit of trim to help with the back pressure, But I wouldn't use too much because when you go full power, it will not like it. It'll be a lot harder. All right?
Yep.
So standard rate turn, keep that ball centered at all times. We don't want to enter a spin. All right?
Yep.
And we do that by rudder. All right, your controls?
I have control.
Okay, so let's go power, let's go carb heat on.
Okay, on.
Power back to 1500. 10 degrees of flaps, we're below 110, so we can add 10 degrees. We're below 85, we can slow up, we can add 20.
Northbound at
And okay. And let's have you, since our performance is just horrible today, let's just have you do a non-turning stall. I demonstrated for you today, but we'll try to find another day. Okay. So go ahead and go power, pitch for 65, just like landing.
Okay.
Okay. And then 30 degrees of flaps. Okay, we'll say 4,800 is your ground, okay?
Yep.
So once we get 4,800, we want to be pitching over for 65. So it, just like on departure, or on landing, okay? As we're coming in, there's 48. So start using back power.
Yeah.
And hold 48. That's our ground. So we want to get away from the ground, right? Just like we're...
What are we going to do? Stall?
Yeah, just do a stall,
Okay.
no turn. A little bit more back pressure, keep that ball centered. Yep. Just nice small corrections. Remember, we're slow flight.
Lexington traffic.
Right.
Here's 8855 Mike's on a 5-mile final. 14 Lexington.
Ooh, go back a little bit more. Power, you've got power in. Take power out. No, take power all the way out. Was it all the way out? There you go. No wonder we're still... Okay. There's our stall. Go ahead.
Okay.
Full power. It's really hard to get it to stall.
Yeah, it's heavy.
Yeah. Okay. And then first notch of flaps up.
Oh.
Yeah, well, we get positive. There you go. And then pitch for BY, which today BY is working out to be about 70 with the density altitude.
And flaps up.
And let's make a turn back to the south,
Okay.
to the left. Here's a Victor Airway up here where traffic travel along. So I just want to make sure that we're not in an area that's busy where people take. Okay, we'll say that was our clearing turn. I want you to do a steep turn.
Okay.
Do you remember how 45-degree bank? Okay.
Yeah.
So in between the 30 and the 60. So right, that line right there. And when we roll into it, we're going to have to add some back pressure, about 200 RPM. Let's do 4,800 level off. 4,800 feet.